All right, let's talk about something super important for anyone on the job: the Job Safety Analysis, or JSA for short. And look, this isn't just more paperwork, I promise. It's one of the most practical ways you can keep yourself and your team safe. So let's get right into it. You know that feeling, right? You're standing there about to start a job. Could be something you've done 100 times, or maybe it's brand new. And that little voice in your head just whispers, what could go wrong here? That's a totally normal and honestly a really, really important instinct to have.
Well, guess what? There's a professional tool designed for exactly that moment. It's called a Job Safety Analysis, or JSA. This is what takes that gut feeling, that little question mark, and transforms it into a solid, actual plan for staying safe.
Okay, so first things first, what exactly is a JSA? Let's define this thing. So, the official definition talks about identifying hazards and controlling risk. But here's the key word I want you to focus on: process. A JSA isn't a checklist you just tick off and forget about. No way. It's a way of thinking. It's about being proactive, spotting the dangers before they can turn into real problems, instead of just reacting after something's already gone wrong. And to give you some perspective, let's compare it to something you might already know, like a Take 5. Think of a Take 5 as your quick, on-the-spot mental check for a simple, everyday task. A JSA, well, that's the full-on deep dive. It's what you pull out for the jobs that are way more complex, brand new, or just carry a much higher risk. Same principles, just way more detail. All right, so we know what it is. But let's get to the real heart of it. Why is doing a JSA so critical? I mean, what's the real purpose behind this whole process? This is the important part. Look, this stuff isn't just about ticking a box for the company. This is about you. A JSA literally puts the power in your hands. It helps you spot those hazards so you can prevent getting hurt or wrecking equipment. It actually makes you a better planner, and you start to get this much deeper feel for the risks involved. It's about giving you a structured way to manage your own safety. Okay, let's get super practical now. Knowing how to do a JSA is one thing, but knowing when you need one is just as important. So what are the triggers? When should that alarm bell go off in your head? So I want you to think about your own job for a second. Can you picture a time when a really detailed safety plan would have made a huge difference? This next bit is going to give you a super clear checklist to help you make that call. Here are the big signals that you probably need a JSA. Did your quick Take 5 check suddenly uncover something complex or high risk? That's a trigger. Is there no written procedure for what you're about to do? Yep, you need a JSA. Do you need a special work permit, like for going into a confined space? For sure. Or maybe you have to do the job differently than normal, or a brand new hazard pops up halfway through. Anytime you're dealing with the unknown or things just feel unclear, the JSA is going to be your best friend. Simple as that. All right, we've talked about the what, the why, and the when. So now for the big one, the how. Let's break down the whole JSA process into 6 simple, straightforward steps. It's easier than you think. You can see it's a really logical flow. It all starts with step 1. You just detail the task you're about to do. Simple. Then, for step 2, you break that big task down into smaller, manageable steps. From there, in step 3, you look at each of those small steps and identify every possible hazard. What could go wrong? Next, step 4 is where you assess the risk. How bad could it be? In step 5, this is the most important part, is where you figure out your controls. How are we going to manage that risk? And finally, step 6, you do a final review and get it approved. You make sure everyone's on the same page before any work starts. Whew, we've covered a lot of ground. So if you're going to remember just one thing from all this, what should it be? Let's boil it all down to one single, powerful idea. This right here. This says it all. A JSA is what turns hoping for the best into planning for safety. It's the difference between just closing your eyes, crossing your fingers, and going for it, and having a rock-solid plan. It takes all that uncertainty and turns it into a controlled, safe operation. It's about you taking control. So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. After everything we've just talked about, what's one risk at your job that could probably use a closer look? Just thinking about that, that's the first step to making your workplace safer for everyone. And that's your explainer on job safety analysis.